So basically, I thought there were sort of three more things that we needed to talk about, kind of to get us a foundation on which to proceed. And the first would be Roman Stoicism. The fact of the matter is that Stoicism is a philosophy that was created in the 3rd century BC in Athens by a guy by the name of Zeno, who came from Cyprus. His hometown was a town called Kidium. And he came to Athens in the 280s, and he began to teach there in a building that is called the Stoa Poikile, the painted stoa. And because of that, the philosophy got its name. It basically is a deterministic philosophy. And what that means is that as far as the Stoics were concerned, everything that happens has already been determined. But it's been determined by a rational principle that the Stoics called logos, or reason. And so everything that happened was ultimately for the good. So that, I don't know whether any of you have ever read Voltaire's Candide, but Candide has a teacher by the name of Pangloss, and Pangloss is always talking about the fact that this is the best of all possible worlds, and that everything in it is for the best. That's a Stoic attitude, and basically it's an attitude that was sort of native to the Roman temperament. The Romans were Stoics 400 years before there was any such thing as Stoicism. They didn't have a name for it except that they thought this is the way the world is. Okay? As a consequence of that, and because of its doctrines, it was very, very comfortable for the Roman emperors, because one of the fundamental teachings was whatever is right. Now, if you're a ruler, that's a pretty comforting doctrine, because it means that your right to rule is a law of nature, and that no one, in fact, may overthrow you. So if you ever go to England and you look at a coin, you will see on it that it says that Elizabeth II is Regina Dei Grazia. She is queen by the grace of God. It is God's will that Elizabeth II be the Queen of England. Which is quite comforting if you're a ruler, because no matter what you do, anyone who tries to overthrow you is violating nature. I mean, if you want to speak about it in religious terms, it's a sin to sort of overthrow the ruler, because whatever is right. Now, if you decide, Pedro, that you can't stand the ruler, and you decide that you are going to overthrow the ruler, if you succeed, then it was right. If you fail, then it was obviously wrong, and you need to knuckle under. You need to exhibit the virtue of pietas. Pietas is doing what you have to do because you have to do it. Doing what you have to do because you have to do it. Or another way of saying it, it's resignation. Okay? It's resigning yourself to your place within the cosmos. Okay? The other thing about Stoicism is that it recognizes that this governance, by the Logos, who has determined everything, it applies not just to you as a human being, it applies to the whole universe. And that's why these are the people who brought us astrology. Okay? Because the thing was, if everything has already been determined by the Logos, all right, then the same principle is going to be operative everywhere in the cosmos. And you can find out what your future is, or even what your present is, by taking a look at other signs in nature.